Good morning, students. We are going to start a very important topic in this chapter, that will be simple pendulum. Let us start then. Simple pendulum. So, what is this simple pendulum? Simple pendulum is made of a metal bob which is tied to an inextensible string that is suspended in a rigid support. That means this is how simple pendulum looks like. Let us suppose this is a rigid support where we have a string and the other end of the string is attached to a bob made of metal, and it is this what we call the pendulum. In order to understand the pendulum in better way and how does it work, we should also know various terms based on this. So let us see what are the different terms that we need to understand this simple pendulum in a better way. So we have the first term, which is called length of pendulum. Length of pendulum. Length of pendulum is the length from the rigid support, that is from this P, which is also called point of suspension, to the center of the bob. Please see, length of pendulum is the length from the rigid support, that is point of suspension, to the center of the bob, that is to this point, is the length of the pendulum. Then second is one oscillation. Now we all know that pendulum swings to and fro. This to and fro movement that takes place about the fixed point is only called oscillation. But how can we say that one oscillation is there, or how can one oscillation of a pendulum be made? One oscillation of a pendulum is said to be completed when it oscillates from one point and it reaches back to the same point. For example, if a pendulum is taken to this point, say point A, and is released from here, it will be going to the other point or other position. Say it is now moving to this point. We can take this B and C. Point B or position B, which is the center point of the pendulum, is called the mean position, whereas the other two positions on either side of the mean position is called extreme position. So when a pendulum is taken to position A and is then released, it will first go to position C and then it will again come back to position A. So you can see we have started the oscillation from A, and when it comes back to the same position A, then it is said to be completed one oscillation. Third is time period. Time period denoted by capital T. So time period is the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation. that is when pendulum starts from point A and reaches to point A again, then the time taken for the pendulum to do so will be the time period of a pendulum. Then we have frequency, denoted by small f. Frequency is the number of oscillation made by pendulum in 1 second. That means how many times it makes complete oscillation in 1 second, that number is called frequency. And its unit is, SI unit is hertz. For example, if a pendulum has a frequency of 2 hertz, it means to say that it makes 2 complete oscillation in 1 second. Then coming to the next, which is called amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum displacement of a pendulum from its mean position. That is, how far from the mean position does the pendulum move can be considered as the amplitude of the pendulum. So that is, if from the mean position B the pendulum reaches to point C by covering a maximum distance or displacement, so this maximum displacement is called amplitude of the pendulum. I hope it is clear. So these are the various terms we have in simple pendulum. It's very necessary to understand these terms, as I said, to understand and to solve the numericals based on simple pendulum. So we are now going to see the factors on which the simple pendulum depends. So let us see the factors which can affect the time period of simple pendulum. Factors affecting time period of simple pendulum. So there are two factors that may affect the time period of simple pendulum, and the factors are the length of the pendulum and second, the acceleration due to gravity. So the two factors that will affect the time period of simple pendulum will be length of pendulum, and I told you how can we measure the length of pendulum. It can be measured from the point of suspension to the center of the bob. So it depends on length of the pendulum. We can write time is directly proportional to square root of length of pendulum. That means when we increase the length of a pendulum, the time period of pendulum will also increase. And when we decrease the length, that is when you are making the length of a pendulum short, then in that case the time period will also decrease. For example, if the length of a pendulum is increased by 4 times, then square root of 4 will be 2 times. So in this case we can say that the time period of pendulum will increase by 2 times. And second factor is acceleration due to gravity. It is acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity we denote by small g, and it is inversely proportional to square root of acceleration due to gravity. That means when we increase the acceleration due to gravity, time period of a pendulum will decrease. Since it is inversely proportional, on increasing acceleration due to gravity, time period will decrease, and on decreasing, time period will increase. For example, when we are increasing or when we are making the acceleration due to gravity 4 times, the time period will increase by 2 times. It will increase by 2 times. So I hope it is clear. These are the two factors which will affect the time period. Thank you.